we start off with our parchment lined pan here, and then what we're going to need is some pre-made dough. So I just grabbed this one. It said to use a pound of it. It doesn't come in a pound, so I grabbed 2 of them. I ended up only using the 1 though, and it seemed to be fine. Then what you're supposed to do is you are supposed to divide this out into like 8 pieces or whatever. So I just broke it open like it says to do, which still feels weird. I've only recently started using the spoon like it tells you to. We used to always just bang it on the side of the counter and call it a day. But apparently you're supposed to use a spoon and it's supposed to not be a problem. But yeah, so you're supposed to take this and divide it evenly. And they had a different way of measuring it. I just went with the simplest route, which was to just keep cutting it in half. So I got a knife, probably way more intense than I needed. And then you just keep cutting it in half and in half and in half until inevitably we get to the amount of pieces that we need. So this next part was to shape them. Obviously we're going with like kind of a cartoon bone shape. Now I don't know if this is because of the brand that I got or what, if it needed to sit out, be a little warmer, but I would get it shaped. I would get it to the length-ish that I wanted, and then inevitably they would shrink down. The dough just wanted to be not like that long. And then it didn't really keep the shape as I was going, but I was hoping that it wasn't going to be that big of a deal. So once they were all shaped, then we were supposed to put olive oil on them. And it said to measure out 2 tablespoons, and then you're still just supposed to coat it. So I didn't measure mine. I just poured a little bit into a cup. Honestly, I don't know if you really needed 2 tablespoons or not. I don't know if you really needed to measure it, to be 100% honest. But then I just kind of dabbed it and just put it on top. I think it might have said that you're supposed to brush it on. I don't have like a brush for the kitchen. I go old school, the way our ancestors probably did it, without tools. You just use your hand and use that. And so I just put it on there. It was at this point I was getting a little nervous that like these are going to taste not fantastic. There's no seasonings. Like I knew looking at the ingredients list there wouldn't be. But it was at this point that I was starting to really question how well this was going to turn out. Because here we are at our last ingredient. You were supposed to sprinkle on Parmesan cheese, which, don't get me wrong, it does add a flavor. But I was starting to wonder, like, how much flavor is this really going to have? Because when you think of breadsticks, you're going to think of salt and usually garlic, maybe, like, actual, like, the pizza seasonings. You know, you have, like, your oregano and different stuff that you would add. But, like, this is just bread with a little bit of cheese on top. Not even enough, really. And, like, I was trying to mimic how much they had on theirs in the picture. And, again, the whole time, all I could think is, I don't think this is going to have enough flavor. So, our very last step is that we are supposed to cover this with some clear wrap and let this rise for a little while. And, of course, I ran out at the end of the thing, so I had to go get another one. But you cover this and let it sit and rise. Honestly, I don't know that this was really necessary, but it tells you to do it, so I did. And here it is, after letting it sit for a while. I don't really notice much of a difference, but we're just following what they say to do. And here we are. They are fresh out of the oven. I cooked it the exact time they said, so they are very burnt. But here is the end for the voiceover. Now let's head over to trying it. Alright, so we are back downstairs to actually try this. It took me maybe 3 minutes to come downstairs, put the SD card in my camera and turn it on. And it's this, like the bone pieces are already like hard as a rock. Like, and it's also like a little burnt on the bottom. So I feel like maybe listen more to the instructions on the pizza dough than their book, but crunchy cheers. It was very crunchy, and also what I was afraid of, which is it has absolutely no flavor to it. I'm gonna try a piece in like the middle, but like there's no flavor to this. I ripped a little chunk out of the middle. It's a no for me. Flavor is a thing, but you need to season it. Like, this just tastes like a cooked piece of bread. Like, the Parmesan doesn't add the flavor to it. Like, it's so mild. And it's like, for a breadstick, you need to have like pizza flavoring or like garlic or something to it. I would personally add like the pizza flavoring, like it comes in a bottle, literally like pizza seasoning. Sprinkle that on top, maybe a little bit extra garlic if you felt it. Then add the Parmesan cheese and then try it and see if it would be better. And definitely don't cook it as long. Like, this is so overly burnt. This should have been a very easy recipe, so I don't think it was me messing this one up. I think genuinely, like, the person who wrote this, maybe they got like a different kind of pizza dough to use. It didn't really say what to use. So like, I don't know. It's so not good flavor-wise anyways, that it, like, have you taste, like, where's the flavor? So anyways, that is going to be it for this one. I would love to hear if you tried this, how it turns out. How would you spice this up? Literally, because bread with cheese shouldn't be that hard, and yet it still wasn't even enough. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post on Wednesdays and Saturdays. I'll be going through the entire cookbook from the Nightmare Before Christmas cookbook and like entertainment guide or something like that. And like I said, if you have this book, I would love to hear how yours turned out, because this obviously did not turn out for me. And so until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Stay spooky.